Hello, Siders. How you all doing? Chaps and chappets, welcome to a random kind of vlog thing where I need to turn off all these effects. How you all doing? Glad you can join me for this kind of vlog, whatever you want to call it. I know that I'm a bit behind with all my videos, but you may or may not know there's construction work going on in the house, so it's like really awkward to film anything without someone going, yeah. So I will do my best to get videos done. But apart from that, I want to talk to you probably for about 20 or 30 minutes about rule breaking. I want to know what you think about rule breakers. Why do we break rules? Why do we try to manipulate the game into something that the designer didn't intend? I've been recently reading some little posts here and there, and people asking questions like, can this game play 5 players? Well, what does it say on the box? It says 4 players. So can it play 5 players? It's just one of those things, don't you? Doesn't make you think, you know, why would you want to play a game 5 players? And then someone will give you a sob story about, you know, well, we've got 5 people that play games and we don't want to break them up. And we always play together, and you are so lucky to have 5 people to play together all the time, because that doesn't work normally. But hey ho, you want to break the rules? You break the rules. Some games won't allow you to do it because they don't have the components that you have or you need to play a 5-player game. And that's totally pointless, isn't it? Yes. So why would you want to break a rule of a game? But you flip that on its head. There are games that you can break. For example, someone was asking me about For Sale. Can you play For Sale with more than 6 players? Well, technically the game is a card game. And a card games, you know, you can play with any number of players. You know, you can play with any number of players. If you've got more players, you put more decks in. Why not do the same for Sale? So it's like, don't break rules, but you can break rules. And I don't know where I sit, because I can be quite hypochondriacal. Hypochondriac? No, hypocritical. That's the word. And you know what happens? You think, well, this is the way the designer wanted the game, and yet someone will come along and go, no, we don't play like that because we like playing it like this. And it's like, why? The designer wants you to he teaches you a game played like this. Sometimes the rule books are not very clear, are they? Sometimes you read a rule book and it go, no, 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 no. And you'll go, okay, what does that mean? So you'll go, okay, that means that I can move 7 spaces, and even if I roll a 6. And yeah, craziness. The rule is broken. But have you ever played a game which has been bad and gone to yourself, well, I should change the rules and make this better? Because I don't think anybody does. People are quite happy to break rules of a game that they like playing, but they're not happy to break rules for a game that they don't like playing. I don't see many people kind of rewriting the rules of Munchkin to try and make it better. Munchkin is Munchkin. It's set in stone. That's how you play Munchkin. And that's the fun of Munchkin, as Munchkin players like to play it. I myself like to play Munchkin, but can never get 3 or more people to play it. So I broke the rules and created a solo version of the game, which did something really, really stupid. I built a dungeon out of all the cards, and I got a piece, and I said, that's my character, and I'm going to move here, and I'm going to open this door here because, yeah, there's a weak monster there, huh? Ha ha ha, lucky me, I killed it. Boom, boom. I did it because I could. So, yes. Thank you, Kevin, for joining me. Most find rather play at smaller, mostly find rather play. See, I'm just as bad at reading as you, mate. Or maybe you're bad at typing and I'm bad at reading at the same time. But yeah, most people would rather play smaller player counts than more. Yeah, but the funny thing is, the things that I read are always, you know, more players. You know, we're 6 people. We can't play 4 or 5 player games. Can we break the rules? Why should you break the rules? If the game is meant to be for 3 or 4 players, then it's for 3 or 4 players. You can't play Witness with 2 players. That would be crazy. Yes. Another thing is that your sausage fingers are probably very smelly of garlic at the moment, aren't they, Kevin? Yes, they are, my dear. You got really smelly sausage fingers. The other thing is, if a game doesn't have enough components for each player, that's going to make it impossible to play. There's also people that are, for example, the game Seventh Continent. I read someone wants to play Seventh Continent solo, which you can do. And they also want to play it with a group, which you can do, but not at the same time. It's like, well, you know, the game is designed to play one adventure at a time. So there's no way for you to be able to play 2 different adventures, because you're going to be sorting out cards and putting them into a saved game space in the box, because the game is so long, you're not going to be able to play more than 1 game at a time, because the games are so long and they're so adventurous and they're so humongously big. But anywho, this cup of tea is hot in my hand. Anywho, Spoils of War can be played a second game. Yeah. There's another example of a game that can be played more than its player count is if you have 2 games. Spoils of War. You have 2 copies of the game. You can put 2 copies together, mix with the cards. I'm sure you can do the same with other games in that genre, like Sheriff of Nottingham could be done like that, because you can split the game. Defenders of the Realm possibly could be done like that, or Pandemic could possibly be done like that, but you play more cards. And how many times have you played the game and you played it wrong, but it works better? Pandemic is a good example of that for me. I found that Pandemic, the first time I played it, I enjoyed it because we played it wrong. And we won. Yes, the hero deck ran out and we picked up the discard pile and we shuffled it and made a new deck. And the game worked really well and we had fun trying to beat all the viruses. And we found out that's not how you play the game. And that's when we started to not like it, because it was flawed. Because it had this timer mechanism which cut the game just as you were about to win. You know, it wouldn't be so bad if you were just about to lose and it cuts the game and said, well, game over. Yes, we know we were on that downward spiral. But if you're on that upward spiral and you just need 2 more cards and you can't get them because the other deck is run out, which kind of pops the bubble, majorly pops the bubble. So why do we break the rules of games? Why do we feel the need to change the rules to make the game better for us? Maybe you change the rules to make the game easier for yourselves. Maybe you change the rules to kind of just make the game a bit more playable and a bit more enjoyable, because when you lose, it's not fun sometimes. But when you win, there's this great pleasure and this great feeling of joy and fulfillment. And then you can always go to yourself, well, you know what, next time I'm going to play the rules properly and see how well I fare. Again, we need that easy mode sometimes. You know, when you pick up your video game from the store and it says, right, you're playing on normal difficulty and you're having trouble on normal difficulty, you jump to easy difficulty. And then you get to see the story. You get to unlock this and that. Oh, yeah, that's how it works. Ah, okay. And then next time you play it on medium. So in that regards, it's a good idea to break rules, to break the idea of how the game was designed. So there's not that instant challenge straight away. But again, some games now are just coming with an easy mode. They teach you 1 or 2 rules, which is really nice. And then, boom, the door is open once you know how to play. Fantasy Flight are starting to do a real good job with their rule books. I mean, they did a really good job to begin with, but now you didn't think that they could get any better, and they did. You get a walkthrough, so you can play while you're reading the manual. And once you've read the manual and you've had your playthrough, you know how to play the game at a basic level. But then there's an experience level. And if there's any vocabulary they don't understand, they have another book which tells you all the vocabulary used in the game. Wow, it's incredible, isn't it? It's a wonderful world we live in. Now, why can't everybody do that? Rule books are the bane of a game. They are indeed. Can you think of any instances of why you would break rules for a game? I mean, yes. Again, Arkham Horror is one of those games that I've broken the rules of it. One, because I actually forgot what the rules were. There's so many. The rules are simple. There's 4 actions that you do, but each action has little subsections, and then each subsection has another subsection. So if you're in a space when there's a monster, you'll do one thing. If there's no monster, you do another thing. But if there's a monster and you've got this, then that'll do something else. And it's like this big flow chart of fingers going everywhere. It's like, whoa, my mind, boom. And yeah, so I've broken the rules unintentionally by playing it because it's so complex. But at the same time, I've broken the rules intentionally because it was too complex. And there's nothing worse than spending 30 minutes setting up a board game, especially if you're playing solo, because there's a lot of components for one person to put out and lots of cards to shuffle and stuff like that. And then you play 2 rounds and it's game over. And then you're like, oh, should I pack it away? I want to pack it away. I want to pack it away. I don't like this. And so you pack it away. Or you play again. But then you realize that those 2 rounds that you just played have taken you 2 hours. See? Game over, man. Game over. So, yeah, breaking the rules. Can games be broken? Yes. Look at Downfall. There's a system. There's a system to Downfall, and I can't figure it out, but my wife she wins all the time. And so I won't play that game at all. Annoying. Well, I'm all dried up at the moment. Yes, I am. So if you have any questions, or you got any comments, what game am I reviewing next? Good. I'm glad you asked, Mr. Nobody. It's on the table over there. It's waiting to be reviewed. I know how to play it. I know how to play it properly. I know how to lose at it. I'm very good at losing at it. But I'm very good at teaching it as well, because I can teach it in French, because the rules don't come in French. And it's a simple game. And Berkey will be happy, because it's Royals. Yes, we're reviewing Royals. So there you go. There you have it. Rules. What are they good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again. Rules. Huh. Yeah. What are they good for? Absolutely nothing. Free parking. Let me tell you about free parking. Free parking is annoying, especially when someone takes up 2 spaces. They can't park properly. You know, you're supposed to park between the lines, not on the lines. I suppose Monopoly is one of those classic games where everyone plays the game wrong. And again, when you play a game, sometimes you'll get into a routine of playing it, and rules will just kind of like mutate as you're playing it. Every time you play it, you've played this game 50 times. And by the time you get to this 51st time, and you play it with a gaming buddy who's been out of the country for years, and then what will happen is you go, no, you're playing it wrong. And you go, what? He goes, no, mate, you're playing it wrong. I'm not. And then they get out the rule book and they go, look. And you'll go, face slap. Game over, dude. Game over. Rules have a way of doing that. You just get into a comfortable routine. I think that's the same with anything. It's the same with anything. It's like with driving. People get into a comfortable routine and the rules go out the window. Like parking. It just goes out the window. I'm going to park on 2 spaces. I don't care if my Mini is that small. So, thanks for joining me. This quick little chat. I'm just going to fill in for another video when it comes along. It's coming. It's coming. I'm going to start work on it. It's over there. I'm going to do it. All right. I'd like to say thank you very much for joining me. And I wish you a good night and a good dream. And if you have any questions, write them in the comment below about rules or any situations that you've had with rules where the game is not lived up to your expectations, but you've made it live up to your expectations by turning that volume from 9 to 15. Or, you know, is there any games that you've played and you thought, wow, this game is broken, I'm going to fix it? Pandemic. I might do that in Pandemic. Let me know your thoughts. Write them in the box below. And I'll see you later. Ciao for now.